Those of you who have been long-time subscribers may recall that some time back I managed to lay my hands on a Sinadder 3. I haven't managed to use it up till now, and obviously now I've got my new IRF signal generator working. It's an ideal opportunity to get this thing up and running. I've never even plugged this in, so I've no idea even if it powers on, whether it works or whatever. And I got this for £15. So it's either going to be another project or the bargain of the century. So let's plug this in here. Right, so it's plugged in. Let's see if it comes on. Wow, it's illuminated. That sounds a bit scratchy, so we're going to have to go inside and put some switch cleaner in there. Sinadder 1 volt dBm. No, AC volts. I'll have to get the instructions. I don't know how you make this. Yeah, I don't know how you make this do the sound, unless that's what it picks up coming back through the speaker. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, it's working. It's gone off. So I think what we do today, we'll try and just get inside, and I'll try and just put some switch cleaner on these two pots, clean them up a bit, and then we'll give the case a nice polish up and see where we go. I'm going to have to be a bit careful because obviously this is mains voltage now. I'm assuming, oh, no, it's got a case top and bottom, isn't it? So let me grab a screwdriver and we'll take the top lid off. Hopefully we just have to pop the top lid off, and then we can get at that switch that I want to get at, and that'll be good enough. As I say, I've never ventured into these. I did manage to find a copy of the instructions, which I have somewhere. So we will try those and see what they do. But for £15, this was a bargain. If it works, it's even more of a bargain. So in answer to the question, can I get at the board from here? Not easily. So it looks like we're going to have to come in from underneath, but looking at that board there, I can't see any dry joints or anything. All the joints look really good. So in some ways that's a positive. I don't know what all that white stuff is all over the board there. We'll take an opportunity to give that a wipe out before. So I'm not really sure what all this white is on the inside of the board. I'm not seeing anything there. Maybe more will become apparent. When we get inside the board, on the other side, it looks like almost like a glue type stuff. But anyway, that's that tidy up. So give that a blow off, pop the lid back on. Put the top screws back in, and then we'll pop the bottom lid off. I can get my hands on the screws. Yeah, I seem to be going back in all right. Couldn't see the lid was sided, so we'll quickly chuck these in and make sure that this one's off. Right, that's in. So if we flip it over, and then we do the same again on the bottom one, hopefully. Oh, can get better at the two pots. I think these are supposed to be calibrated as well, but for me, just as a hobbyist, if it works and I can get a difference in the needle on the screen, that'd probably be good enough. Okay, so that's open. Yeah, I can get at both of the switches from here, although I can't see an opening to get any cleaner in them, but we will have a go. It actually looks pretty good inside. There's a fuse in there that's not blown. Caps are radial, so you can't really tell if they're any good or not, but the fact it lit up, we'll run with that for the time being. They all seem to have shrouding over the end, so I can't see that any have had excessive heat, otherwise the shrouding would have melted. Although there's one at the back that looks a bit dodgy. Yeah, there's one at the back that's had excessive heat on it. Not on the other end, just on one end. I will... Oh, so I need to check the ends of all of them then. Okay. Yeah, it's just this one, this end seems to have had a... Oh, they both do. Maybe that's how they are. I don't know. I'll have to look up on radial caps. Let me take a picture and I'll put it up on screen now. You can see what you think on it. So the ends of these two capacitors here and these 200 microfarad 25 volts down the side here all look a bit weird. I'm not too familiar with axles. So I've taken this one out because I was also looking to see if it had a temperature rating on it, whether it was 85 or 105, but there's nothing on it. So I'm going to put it on the tester and test it and see whether it's working. Right, let's see what it reads. 127, so that's more than 20% out of 100, so that's gone high. That's no good. So yeah, they need changing. So I'll find some replacement ones and we'll get them. I'll go for the 105 degree rating, as we don't know what these are. There's just nothing on them. It's very unusual, just apart from C11 stamped on them. I haven't got a parts list either, so I can't get the tolerance from that. I've got a user manual, but it gives you a schematic but no tolerances, which is really helpful. All in all, now the postman's been and he's dropped off my capacitors I need to replace. This dodgy one I had. I just want to cover a bit on capacitors for those who are not too familiar with them. These ones with a wire coming straight out of either end are called axial, A-X-I-A-L, and that's what's fitted in the unit. This one, which normally, and these sit on the board this way with the legs coming out and bending down either side of the board, so they sit on the board flat like that. This one is called a radial electrolytic capacitor. This one is called a radial electrolytic capacitor, and these sit upright on the board with the two legs going down. Now, if you can't get one of these, you can fit one of these at a pinch in its place, providing you've got the height to fit this style of device in. Now, the thing with electrolytic capacitors is they have a microfarad rating on them. Above that they have a voltage. Now whatever voltage they've got written on them, you can put a higher voltage part in but not a lower part. So this part, for example, is a 100 microfarad 25 volt. So I could fit a 35 volt, a 50 volt, a 63 volt. That would be okay, but I couldn't fit a 16 volt 100 microfarad capacitor in this place. I'd have to use either the same value, a 25 volt, or a slightly increased voltage, and then it would work. So The other thing on these is, how do you know which end of this device is the negative and positive? On this one, they have a stripe down this side with the negative symbol on it, meaning that this leg immediately underneath it is the negative, the one on the other side is the positive. But on this one, you've got a stripe, but you've got a leg either end. How do you know? Well, if you look closely at the device, it's got a little arrow that's pointing this way to the right. That means that this leg on the right hand side is the negative leg, and that's how you determine which one it is. Now, on the replacement capacitors that I've got, these are not grey, these are black, but again they've got the same notation on them, because if you look on here, there's an actual proper arrow this time pointing this way, which means this leg is actually on the right hand side, is the negative leg. So, and this is a 100 microfarad, I can't remember what I brought now, 35 volt. So I've got slightly increased voltage one, so hopefully it won't get as warm or as hot.